Hello, my name is Nikolai Bebe. I'm a specialist in design and architectural psychology, and I'm here today to tell you about architectural psychology, and especially the psychological term flow in relationship to how you create better work and learning environments in relationship to creativity. Architectural psychology is a branch of environmental psychology focusing exclusively on the interaction between humans and the built environment. And an essential point in my understanding of the interaction between man and the built environment is that you, as a designer or an architect, are able to enhance or prohibit creativity, work, learning processes, and life in general through the physical design. Today, creativity research have shown that everybody can be creative, and it's something that you have to learn throughout your life. The good news is that creativity can be enhanced through the physical environment. The bad news is that creativity can be prohibited through the physical environment as well. Let's look at the psychological term flow, which is one of the most important factors when it comes to creativity. Flow is an everyday feeling. You know it too. It's when you're doing something of great interest to you. Time stops. You forget about what's happening around you, and you could keep on doing what you're doing for a long time. It's a state of mind where you're able to learn better and be more creative. And you can strategically use this knowledge in your design and architecture. Now let's look at some important factors regarding this. The first factor is the need for stability and distability. Now learning comes from concentration and focus on the subject. And it takes a lot of physical energy for the mind to concentrate, and therefore the physical environment must enhance the ability to concentrate. This means that you have to create an environment that enhances silence, both visual and auditory. Like you see in these drawings, the users have destabilized this room and changed it and stabilized it over here again to support their needs and projects. In this perspective, the physical environment has to be an interactive fellow player. Secondly, consistency and clarity are also important factors. Take this drawing as an example. This handle is a physical cue and is strongly coded, and it is easy to use and understand. If there wasn't a handle on this one, the design wouldn't have informed the user about the possibility to pull down these steps. It is of great importance that the physical environment is in sync with the organization's way of working, as well as the behavior that is expected of the users. Otherwise, people get confused and the possibility of learning outcomes decreases. The third and last factor that I want to highlight is framing of communication. Communication is very important to creativity, as the ability to communicate and share ideas is essential. But it has to be at the right moment, at the right time. Sometimes it's needed for bigger groups to communicate, and at other times it's important to shut off the communication and work on your own or in smaller groups. Now, let's look at how you can apply this knowledge to your work as a designer and an architect. You do this by putting the users in the center of your design and by allowing the users to be the other interactive player. People feel recognized when they become involved in the design of their own learning environment. The feeling of recognition is equal to acceptance and respect, and a person will repay this with reciprocal altruism, which basically means that they will take care of the room by displaying ownership and becoming a lot more motivated to be an active player in their own learning process. And why shouldn't they? They designed it themselves. Another aspect of motivation is aesthetics. Now, aesthetics is different from one person to another, but can you say something that is general? However, some needs are universal. People in general feel more safe in environments that are clean and holds a high level of aesthetics. But if aesthetics is subjective, how do you design for all people and for the future? Well, keep the aesthetic parts simple and use neutral colors, and remember that most people feel safe and relaxed in natural environments. Aesthetics don't have to customize, but it makes a world of difference. To summarize all of this, what really is needed is a user-driven, local, complex environment. It has to be user-driven so it fits all purposes and needs. so that people be motivated to use it. Also the needs that the architects didn't know of when creating it. And finally, you have to look at these different environments as behavior settings, which has to hold a lot of cues and constraints, while you at the same time leave space for the users to design their own perfect learning environment.